How do you like the looks of those cherries? It is cherry season here in Niagara, and you might not expect to see cherries when we're talking about a lot about peaches down towards the Niagara area. However, cherries are an important part of the operation of fruit people down here in this area. Now, most of, like 95% of the cherries grown in Canada are in British Columbia with a very temperate climate, but there are specific areas with specific kinds of cherries that have done very, very well here. And today we're going to talk a bit about how this is all working and what kind of cherries there are and how good they are for you, because I don't think a lot of us really think too much about cherries as being medicinal. But here at Cherry Lane, they certainly are. And I'm going to interrupt here, stop things. Michelle, come on over here for a second.
Good morning.
Michelle Smith, General Manager here at Cherry Lane. 400 acres of cherries. No one would even fathom that possibility.
So there's 400 acres here on the property. However, we also grow cherries, peaches, and pears.
Now, as I mentioned, 95% of the cherries grown in Canada are in British Columbia under those obvious temperate climates. What is it about this area that allows cherries to thrive?
Jen, who's 10th generation on the farm here, has been growing cherries for as long as she can remember. Cherries love sandy soil, and where we're standing right here is the perfect climate and the perfect soil to grow cherries.
Now, a lot of people, they'll go and pick strawberries, they'll go and pick raspberries, they'll go and pick blueberries and things like that, but you don't really get a chance to pick cherries. You kind of got to buy them already picked. It's not an adventure.
Coming out here is always an adventure. So we have the cherry concentrate in our store that you can pick up. You get to drive down the laneway, see all the cherry trees. It's the perfect little adventure for anyone who wants to travel to Niagara.
Okay, we're going to find a little bit more about the kinds of fruit you have here and why it thrives here. And we're also going to get the cherry picker going. It is noisy, though, but we'll see how it all works right here down at Cherry Lane. Lots of cherries here, and it's time to buy them at your local store or get the concentrate. We'll be back in a few minutes. Now that's the way you pick cherries. No mess, no muss, no fuss, no grounders like you get in apples. Here at Cherry Lane, you just saw how they pick the cherries here. And Michelle Smith, General Manager here at Cherry Lane, tell me a little bit about why the family decided, when everybody's changing into grapes in Niagara, that you folks decided, hey, we want to keep cherries going.
We found out about 20 years ago that cherries are extremely rich in antioxidants, and we were able to help people with health benefits. So instead of pulling out our cherries, we decided to grow more cherries so that we can create a cherry concentrate and be able to help everybody.
So you took a bit of a flyer, and how has it turned out?
It's been amazing. So currently we sell our cherry concentrate across Ontario and the Atlantic. You can buy it here in our retail store, and it's helped so many people with arthritis, sports recovery, gout. It's also really rich in melatonin, which is great for your sleep patterns.
And everybody needs help sleeping these days. I also want to ask you a bit about the kind of cherries, because there are a number of different kinds of cherries, but you only grow one. And what is that, and why specifically do you do that?
We grow a Montmorency Tart cherry, and the reason cherries are rich in antioxidants is because of its red quality. Montmorency Tart cherries have the reddest quality and the perfect amount of sugar content for anyone to be able to use.
Okay, and again, it's not something you can come and pick. You come and buy them or buy the concentrate, and it's just a neat fruit for this time of year. And again, a lot of people don't think about cherries too much, other than just seeing them on the shelf. Oh, I'll grab some of those. So what I want to do next, I want to go into the factory just to get an idea of how these things are processed and how the benefits of these all work. So we'll come back and talk about that a little bit later on. How's that?
Awesome, thank you.
And we're back at Cherry Lane Farms in Vineland talking about what would you think but cherries. And Michelle Smith, the General Manager, is with us again. Now, we saw earlier the machine that picks them just sort of basically shakes the tree and down they fall. And now they're here. So what goes on here?
So the cherries are harvested into tanks, and right now we are flushing out the hot water and adding cool water to make the cherry a perfect round red ball. This makes it easier for us to be able to take the pit out so that we can process it.
All right, so again, although you sell a certain amount of cherries as cherries, most of it goes into making the concentrate, right?
Correct.
That's how it works? Okay,
Correct.
now in BC, I just did some reading. In BC, their crop they think is going to be down maybe 30% because it was too wet out there and the skins were splitting on the tree. How is it here? Because we're the exact opposite. We've had way too much dry conditions here. What are the cherries like this year?
We have an amazing crop of cherries this year. Our cherries are super red. They are, the more rain, the harder they get. So it's a nice plump cherry, which means they're going to be full of natural sugars, full of natural goodnesses. And we will be able to harvest these little goodies.
And how do you get the pits out of them? Because that's always a struggle. How do you get a pit out when you're eating it without swallowing the pit, which is kind of what I do?
So we're going to take a cherry, and we have a needle that goes into the top of the cherry, and the pit comes out the bottom.
Not individual. You don't do it individually by hand.
No, it is done by a machine.
Oh, okay. That's good. And then it's processed into what people would buy here at Cherry Lane.
Yeah, either processed into a concentrate or into a pitted cherry for pies.
Okay, we're going to take a look at that process in the next few minutes. So join us back here a little bit later on at Cherry Lane Farms in Vineland. All right, back at Cherry Lane Farms in Vineland, and most of what you see here is the finished product, the payoff, I guess we could call it, of the cherry orchards down here. And again, a bit of an anomaly. You know, you're not the only cherry grower down here, but one of the few that are left here. And again, just for those of you who maybe not were with us for the first couple of segments, why did the Smiths decide to stay with cherries?
We realize that cherries are really good for you. They're extremely rich in antioxidants. They have a ton of melatonin in it, so we can help you with your sports recovery, your arthritis, your gout, even with your sleep patterns.
Okay, so that's good. So you come here. You can't buy a box of cherries with the pits in them and the stems in them. You come here to buy one of two things. What do you have?
So we have our cherry concentrate. Each tablespoon of our cherry concentrate has 75 cherries in it. You're getting a whole lot of cherries taking the cherry concentrate. 2 tablespoons a day into 8 ounces of water. Or you can buy our fresh pitted cherries, which we have freshly pitted your cherries. They are ready for pies.
Sure look nice. You're almost taking on the orange industry, aren't you, as far as juices and healthy drinks and things like that. That's it's kind of daunting. Kind of daunting, I would think, but it's done well for Cherry Lane so far.
It has. It's extremely exciting as well. We are one of the only people in Canada that are producing cherry concentrate.
Okay, and also when you come here, I noticed these because you're a big fan of these dark chocolate covered cherries as well. That's kind of cool.
Those are my favorite.
Are they? I think they'd be my favorite. I haven't even tried one yet. So that's what you can get down here. And again, when can you come down here and buy stuff? Because you do have a small retail store here, along with the big production area. How can people get down here?
We are open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, all year round. We have an online store that's also open all year round. You can get it shipped directly to you, as well as we have a vending machine that you can buy our concentrate 24/7.
Okay, so if you want to be healthier, which everybody does, and I know people want to get more sleep because nobody gets enough sleep, especially when we work on the morning show like this. Check it out, Cherry Lane in Vineland, because it's just some gorgeous area down here and also a great product to try.